Greetings everyone, this is the course Prepositional Collocation, and this is the second part of the chapter which we are dealing of preposition of places. So this is the part 2. This is by me, Abhinav Anand. I'm pursuing English honors from University of Delhi, a football lover, a poet and a traveler. Please don't forget the 3 R's in 1S, that is to rate, review, recommend and share my videos. And if you have anything to say, do leave the comment in the comment section below. So let's begin. So these are the 4 prepositions that we are going to talk about. This is between, among, by and beside. So these are the 4 prepositions that we are going to talk about in this particular video, and we will see how these prepositions work and where are the differences in their function and what is it that the meaning that they convey. So without much ado, let's begin. Let's first examine between and among. So these are used as preposition of places, and examples are: the money is to be divided between / among the towns in the area. So here the number of town is actually not clear. So if the number is not clear, then both between and among can be used, and we will find where their use actually differ in the next slide. Let's see the second example. The prize will be shared among first 6 finishers in the race. So here actually one of them is only applicable. The second one actually gets eliminated because there are more than 2 people. So that is why here among is used and not between. So let's move on. We also use between, not among, when we talk about comparison and relationships. So while comparing things, while examining the relationship, we use between instead of among. And let's see, for instance, difference between, connection between, etc. So if you have to emphasize the difference between the two, difference between all these things, so we are going to use between and not among. So we are not going to say a difference among things. That will be incorrect. And more precisely, it's important to use between in these situations. So here's a picture. You can see that the apple is kept between these 2 blocks. So that is also one of the uses of between, where we use between when a thing is placed between 2 different things. So for example, this apple. Let's say another example. What are the difference between rugby league, rugby union and American football? So even though the number of things that are there are more than 2, rugby league, rugby union and American football, but still we use between when you have to highlight the difference between things. So let's move on. Let's see some more examples. We use among, not between, when we mean occurring in, one / some of, or out of. So in these 3 situations we use among and not between. So let's see the example of all these 3 situations. The first example is of occurring in. Let's see the example. The disease has now broken out among the hill tribes. So the disease is now occurring in among the hill tribes. So if we have to give the sense of occurring in, then we are going to use among and not between. Let's see the second example that describes some of. So there are among the best hockey players in the world. So there are some of best hockey players in the world. So if we have to convey this sense of feeling, then also we are going to use among and not between. So it will sound incorrect when we say they are between the best hockey players in the world. So that is absurd, ridiculous. So we use among instead in these kind of situations. Let's examine the third example, which signifies out of. So among the capital cities of South America, Quito is the second highest. So again, with this feeling that Quito is out of all these capital cities, Quito is the second highest. So when we have a large number and we have to choose one out of it, so in that case also we use among and not between. By and beside. So we use by or beside to say that one thing or person is at the side of another. For example, you can see here this cat, if its cat is sitting by next to this dog, so the cat is sitting beside the dog, or the dog is sitting beside the cat. So both are correct, and in this sense we use by or beside. Example, Colin sat by beside with his legs crossed. So Colin must be sitting by or beside somebody or something, and that is why he is mentioned, he is referred to in that way. So the next example, I pushed the button by beside the door, but there was no answer. The button, obviously all of us must have seen the place exactly where the button is, the call bell is. So in order to describe the position of the call bell with reference to the door, so the reference here also becomes very important. So with reference to the door, actually all the pronouns that are meant to describe places, in reference to what becomes very important. So in reference to door, the ring call bell is beside the door. And if for example, if we say that there is something hanging over the call bell, so in reference to that thing, the call bell becomes below that thing. So we have to see in what reference, in what context we are going to use these preposition, and we have to apply our brains, and accordingly we will use the preposition if we know which preposition is being used. So that is very important. So let's move on. Let's see. There are two words, beside and besides. So many of us get confused between the use of these two words, and that is why here's a table which will help you to understand the difference between these two words and the use of these two words, how they are used actually different. The use actually is different. The first one is beside. Beside is a preposition, as we have seen earlier. Besides can be a preposition, but also an adverb. It's also an adverb. So it can be a preposition, it can be used as a preposition, or it can be used as an adverb. So this beside means next to or compared to. Okay, while besides means expect or in addition to. So expect this, or except this, or except, oh sorry, I'm really sorry, this should be except, not expect, my fault. So this is except or in addition to. Okay, so beside, let's see the example of beside. She sat beside, that is next to him, during dinner. So this is one of the example of beside, that means next to or compared to. So this is the example of next to. On the example of compared to, let's see the example of compared to. The problems, these problems seem unimportant beside the potential benefits of the new system. So in comparison to the potential benefit of the new system, these problems seem unimportant. So these are the two ways in which beside can be used. Let's see now how besides can be used. So there is no one here besides, except, here I have written right, so except me. So there is no one here except me. Besides here is saying that I'm the only one here and nobody else is here. So that is the meaning that besides is conveying here. She wants to learn other languages besides English and French. So here what meaning it is conveying is in addition to. So besides this, my choices are this and this. So in addition to this, my choices are this and this. So in addition to that language, English and French, for example, she wants to learn many other languages. So in addition to, that is the second meaning that besides conveys. And it can also be used as an adverb. So this is an example of its use as an adverb. They serve pasta and many other food besides. So I mean, it also conveys this meaning of except pastimes. They serve many other foods. So, but since it is describing the word serving, so it is an adverb here, and it can be used as an adverb too. So that was it for this lesson. Thank you. I hope to see you all in the next lesson. Till then, take care.